Happening right now on 7 Eyewitness News. New information following a car crash on the 190. This happened while you were sleeping. And we're tracking the latest following that deadly terror attack in Manchester. There's another arrest we've got to tell you about.
Memorial Day, a day to honor those who've given the ultimate sacrifice for our country. We were aboard the Sullivans, and we are now moving to the USS Little Rock. What you need to know about the Naval and Military Park and what they're doing this weekend. That's coming up next.
You're watching 7 Eyewitness News with Andy Parker, Katie Morse, Ed Dranch, and Autumn Lewandowski.
Good morning, Western New York. It is 6 o'clock. We're going to get you out the door this morning. Memorial Day weekend straight ahead. A lot of people got that 3-day weekend coming up. A lot of people hitting the roads too.
Yeah, a little foggy to start. Look at what we have on top of the One Seneca Tower to start things off. Let's go ahead and take you up there live. You can see the picture. Can't really see much off the edge, but it's 40 stories down from there. Still some foggy spots. You can see it in the western half of our north towns. And here in downtown Buffalo, it equates to just under 3-mile visibility, which certainly is not pea soup, but once you go south of Orchard Park along the 219, it breaks up a bit. Now down there, we do have a little bit of rain shower activity, and it is light, nothing compared to yesterday. Salamanca has seen a little bit of drizzle, some showers. Cattaraugus all the way down to Bradford and Shingle House now getting a little bit wet. Let's bring it back into downtown Buffalo and show you what the day is going to look like today. In and amongst the buildings, we'll do it like nobody else can. It's called Skycast technology. We've got the clouds in the background there. It'll show you what's happening, the clock, the temperature, and the wind. Winds are going to be light all day today, and that's really not going to mix the atmosphere. Notice how slowly we get to 54. As we do, there comes some rain showers right around the noon hour, and again, maybe not enough to bring the umbrellas out, but it will be some light drizzle, and the clouds are locked in all day today. Temperatures get up to 60, and then they start their drift back down through the 50s, so not that cold on the patio, and still a chance of a shower even into the evening hours today. There's dry time over our weekend, and I will find those spots for you when we come back in just a few minutes.
All right, Andy, we'll check in for those. Thanks. The Olcott community is coming together, replacing sandbags after high wind and heavy rain causes swelling in Lake Ontario to breach those sandbags already in place. Look, fire crews are working into the night to make up this makeshift wall. Also, this incredible drone video is giving us a fresh perspective of the extent of the flooding damage here. We're looking at what all the communities are facing. Lake Ontario is 19 inches higher than it was just 1 month ago and 33 inches higher than the May average. One homeowner tells us she already had to turn off her hot water tank as the water creeps into her yard, and now she's worrying the situation could get worse.
And they said if it continues, we'll have to turn off our electric and our gas if we get any more water. Everything's flooded. The basement, the whole yard. The yard's like part of the lake right now.
Just last week, Niagara County extended its state of emergency for communities along the shore, trying to help secure financial help for those homeowners. Now, meantime, the Red Cross is standing by, ready to help homeowners who have to evacuate if they have to. The first thing the organization would do, they say, set up a shelter.
There's food and water available throughout the day, so even if you didn't have to evacuate maybe, but you can't cook because you had to turn off your stove or it was flooded out, you'd be able to come to that shelter and get a meal as well.
And the Red Cross would also provide trained social workers to help the community deal with the trauma of then being displaced. 6:02, we are covering this breaking overnight news. State police got called to a car crash on the 190. Happened just around 2:30 this morning. You can see here one car hits a guardrail. Happened just after exit 9 on the 190 north. AMR confirmed they took one person to ECMC after this crash. We're going to update you on this story as we learn more information throughout the morning. And this just in, police in Manchester are carrying out a search at a property in an inner city neighborhood. They believe it may be connected to Monday's suicide attack. Overnight, police arrested a 10th person in connection to this investigation, and right now 8 men in total are in custody. Another man and a woman were released without being charged. Meantime, investigators are piecing together the life of the suspected suicide bomber. They are now turning to Syria to see if Salman Abedi received ISIS training there. This morning, brand new images of Abedi here in the surveillance photos from 3 days before the attack. They show him at a shopping mall. He's got a baseball cap pulled down. Apparently, he's carrying that backpack that he used in the bombing. And here, Abedi's outside his suburban home. He's taking out trash, wearing a traditional North African robe and sandals. Investigators say they did find bomb-making materials in that home. And the UK once again sharing information about the bombing with the U.S. The country had temporarily suspended intelligence sharing privileges after leaked intelligence made it into American papers. The UK was not happy about that. These photos, specifically of the bomb that were published in the New York Times, had them very upset. President Trump pledged to prosecute the people who leaked that information. And this morning, we're also learning the identities of 3 more victims who died in the bombing. All 3 were women, 2 of them mothers who were waiting for their daughters to come out of the concert. Another attended the show with her sister and her niece. Local doctors say they're still treating injuries.
It's a mixture of, as you'd expect from a blast, broken bones, but quite a lot of people struck by flying metal. So people with shrapnel in their bodies, sometimes many pieces of it.
This morning, the memorial for those victims continues to grow outside the Manchester Arena with cards, candles, and stuffed animals as people remember the lives lost. 6:04, President Trump starts his day in Italy today, and the investigation into the Trump administration's ties to Russia is now turning to the president's son-in-law. The FBI is looking into Jared Kushner's role on the Trump campaign. They're also interested in his relationship with former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn and his contacts with Russia. Kushner has not been accused here of committing a crime. And the race for mayor heating up in the Queen City. Candidate Mark Schroeder revealed how he plans to help neighborhood development in Buffalo. He says his plan would focus on small neighborhood businesses, not big developers, and that his administration would offer several one-stop shop training centers where people could learn skills like marketing, tax prep, and accounting for free.
My plan will offer assistance to business owners and job seekers where they work and live, helping to improve their neighborhoods in the process.
Schroeder says he plans to reveal the other 3 parts of his plan in the coming weeks. Incumbent Mayor Byron Brown is responding to this plan with a resume of things that he accomplished for the people of Buffalo. Brown points to the $6.1 billion in economic development that he says will create thousands of jobs, a business tax rate cut of nearly 16%, a streamlined permit process, and the forthcoming workforce training center in the Northland Corridor, as well as other partnerships to help people and small businesses. 6:06 happening today. If you hit the road for Memorial Day weekend, you're of course going to be ready to maybe see some traffic. A survey by TripAdvisor showing today is the busiest travel day of this weekend. More than 1/3 of people who responded to the survey are planning to travel today. And AAA estimates more people are going to travel this year than in the past 12 years. And we know today marks the start of Memorial Day weekend. And with the kids off from school on Monday, you might be looking for something to do. The Naval Park at Buffalo's waterfront offers something for the whole family as we honor those who served our country. 7 Eyewitness News reporter Liz Lewin live at the waterfront with what's new this year.
Well, Katie, it's a foggy morning in the Queen City, but you can see the Naval Military Park no matter where you are because of these lights. We're now aboard the USS Little Rock here with Captain Brian Roach, the executive director of the park. A little bit about the Little Rock. I can't get over how massive this ship is.
This is a big vessel, and it's a World War II era, but it was refitted with a missile system in the late 60s, which was kind of the precursor to what we know as the Tomahawk missile that's used now. So when this ship was fully staffed, you're talking 1,000 people on board, maybe even a little more. It was once again used for onshore bombardment, troop support, and also the long-range missile system capability. Now, the prime real estate, what I think, in downtown Buffalo is the fantail of the ship, which is the back portion, where we have parties and people rent the area to have dinners and things, where you're sitting on the river, overlooking Canal Side, overlooking the outer harbor. There's no better place to spend an evening.
All right. Well, coming up at the bottom of the hour, Captain Roach is going to tell us about something special that's happening here with the USS Little Rock. We're also going to talk a little bit more about Memorial Day and some day-to-day things that are happening at the Naval and Military Park. For now, we are live here at Canal Side in the waterfront. Liz Lewin, 7 Eyewitness News.
All right, Liz, thanks so much. Yeah, I know that's definitely going to be a part of my Memorial Day weekend. Such a beautiful place to go check out. And Autumn is tracking traffic for you as you head into your holiday weekend.
It's moving along pretty good as we get out there right now. Major roadways up to speed. There are some different things going on weather-wise that might slow you down a little bit. First off, near Ripley, well, we've gotten wet over the course of this morning, so we're down to wet roadways. There's no ponding on the roads. It's not a heavy wet rain, but a heavy rain, but we are dealing with, you'll need the window washer fluid every once in a while as that kind of splashes up at you. Now, the 90 at the 400, well, now we're dealing with the fog. Along the 400, it's foggy. Along the 90 into downtown Buffalo, it's foggy. And then and even up to about the 33. Otherwise, things are starting to improve in spots. What I want to mention is going into Memorial Day, Union Road, this is going to be closed down for a short time frame because of a parade. So from Legion Parkway right through Willowdale Drive, it's a very busy portion of Union Road in West Seneca. That's going to be closed from 10 until 12 for the Memorial Day parade. There are a few other ones that's happening as well. We'll talk about that coming up.
Autumn, thank you. All right, we know it's almost the weekend, Friday morning, but if you're waking up a little sleepy today, don't go away, because if you're reaching for a second cup of coffee, we're talking about a trick that could have you sleeping better quicker.
And lacing up to keep a memory alive. Coming up, we introduce you to a family of 19 running the Buffalo Marathon for a very special reason.
It's a beautiful architectural masterpiece.
A South Buffalo building seeing new life. We'll tell you what developers are envisioning for the former theater and when the doors are going to open.
There's a lot of clouds out there today, but there are some sunny spots in your 3-day weekend. I'll bring them to you after this short break. 7 Eyewitness News at 6 continues.
You're watching 7 Eyewitness News. Let's bring you up to speed.
6:13 on your Friday morning. This morning, President Trump is in Italy. He's getting ready to participate in a reception for G7 leaders. And later today, he and the First Lady will attend the La Scala Philharmonic Orchestra, then have dinner with the President of Italy. Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul going to be in Hamburg tonight with Assemblyman Sean Ryan. They're celebrating the groundbreaking of a new playground. It replaces an older one on Prospect Avenue. The new playground is going to cost $500,000. It's covered largely by grants. And today, the Buffalo Zoo will host its 5th Buffalo Love event, Buffalo Love. There's going to be more than 25 food trucks and 80 vendors at that event. All the money raised here goes to help with the maintenance of all the zoo animals.
25 food trucks, that's a lot to love. Hey, for the Friday morning pickup, some foggy spots out there, 53 degrees, kind of a C- morning, kind of a C- afternoon. Cloudy, cool with a couple of showers around as well.
Well, students in New York State can now apply for those Excelsior scholarships to go to state colleges and universities for free. Regulations for the program were unanimously approved yesterday. Families that make less than $100,000 every year can apply. A historic building at the corner of Seneca and Cazenovia in South Buffalo seeing new life. Shays Seneca, soon set to be turned into apartments and shops. It'll even have a banquet room and a theater. Developer Jake Schneider is hoping the redevelopment of this building will help modernize the neighborhood as well.
We're hoping it could be a catalyst for the renovation and revitalization of this entire commercial corridor and maybe even into the neighborhood.
Construction starting next month on this building. Schneider hopes to have doors open by July of next year. Some of us getting ready to lace up our sneakers this weekend, hitting the pavement for the Buffalo Marathon. And one family is running in honor of a loved one in hopes of raising awareness about Alzheimer's disease. Tuilan Nugent joining us now, telling us more about them. Tuilan?
Yeah, good morning. This group of 19 runners has an incredible story. One of them is running in a suit. A woman in her 70s is running for the very first time. Guys, you can't make this up. They're called Joe's Joggers, and they're running in memory of Joe Flanagan. Joe was a naval officer and a teacher from Eden. Unfortunately, he died after a battle with Alzheimer's, and now his family plans to carry on his memory. They'll be running in every single race wearing purple t-shirts. They're raising money for the Alzheimer's Association, and family members are coming back to their Western New York roots from, get this, 10 different states. For some of Joe's Joggers, this will be their very first time running in a race ever.
3/4 of them have never run in any sort of race at all. So this effort has really mobilized people to do something that they've never done before. My mother, again, who's 75 years of age, she's in the Arizona desert training for a half marathon, and she's never run a race of any distance before.
You heard that. Elaine Flanagan, 75 years old, running her first marathon alongside her son Robert. Robert is going to be wearing a purple suit and carrying a briefcase, all to show that Alzheimer's is all about business. Now, Joe's Joggers has raised more than $37,000 so far. Just got a text this morning. They're hoping to hit $40,000 by race day. And if you see them on Sunday, make sure you cheer them on, because, guys, I can't even run like 10 steps. They're running all the marathons. So we're going to post a link on our website on how you can help them get their goal.
All right, Tuilan, thanks. Yeah, we're looking for those people in purple, and that's who we're going to be waving for this weekend. All right, Andy Parker.
Wait, what are you guys wearing this weekend?
I'm going to wear, I think, like a bright peach colored shirt.
But the question is, are you and Ed going to coordinate for the marathon? You coordinate every single morning.
I know, yeah, we'll have to see what we can do. I don't know if he's got that, but we'll find out.
Purple is also the color of Trinity Christian. They're the Hawks, and the weather machine was out there on Monday. We spun the video around, and we're sharing it with you this morning. And you can see a lot of high fives. Not a huge school. It was kind of a David Goliath type of thing. They've got about 100 kids, and a lot of the other schools out there had almost 900. Emma was helping us out. There you see some of the purple jerseys there. And we were filling up the balloon, and they're a K-8 school, so they buddied them up. We had some of the 7th and 8th graders with the younger ones out there, and this was one of the ones that kind of leaves a mental impression.
Yeah, jaws on the floor.
The sights and sounds, and they're bouncing around, hands in the crowd. We had a lot of friends and families sitting in the bleachers out there welcoming us in. I believe this was Luke. Man, I tried to get him to smile. I told him I was going to show him anyway, and we did. That was a lot of fun. We had another Andrew. I think there were about 3 Andrews. We put him inside the weather machine, then we took the clouds out into the hands. Do you have a favorite demonstration? Which one do you like?
I take the one with the sunglasses and the
sunglasses?
sun. Yeah.
I kind of had that idea. And all the kids were out there and enjoyed it. This is Leia. We brought her from the back of the crowd, and I just loved looking at her mouth. It took her about 2 minutes to finally put the jaw back together after watching that tornado. We let her touch it as well. We created some lightning strikes, and yet another Andrew here. These two were some characters, so we said, let's let him share a little moment here, and I love it.
There it is.
There's that exchange. And then, of course, this was Gigi. Came up front. She was a darling, and we put her hair up on end talking about static electricity. And then we filled the gym with some snow out there. They had a couple of snow days.
That is pretty good. I'm not a big fan of snow, but when it's inside, I guess I'd take it.
They enjoyed it. We enjoyed them. Thank you very much for voting. That wraps up the Weather Machine season. That must mean that we're getting close to the end of the year. Let's go ahead and talk about what's going on outside. The Mobile Weather Lab. We're looking at him, he's looking at us, and we can't see either of us. We're up there on top of the One Seneca Tower, 40 stories up. You can see, go ahead, Rob, do a push into that cloud. We lose it right at about maybe story 20 or so as we zero in on it. You can't see the top, barely see the top. Now, our camera is right up there. Now, I'm going to switch back from Rob's picture there. Back down, that's what you got. You're up there at the top, you don't see anything. Your head is in the fog this morning. So underneath there, though, Autumn will update you on the commute this morning. Again, it's not pea soup near the surface, but boy, you don't get much of a view. 53 degrees. Now, here we do have some light rain showers down here near the Pennsylvania line. That's it. Forecast today, we'll bring a few of those up around the city of Buffalo. No, this is not going to be a sunny day. I know a lot of pools are trying to open up today for the holiday weekend. Not a lot of takers with an air temperature at 60 degrees, even with a heated pool. Just doesn't feel like a pool day today. Locked in with clouds. We're going to get a couple of scattered showers along the way, even into the north town. Not just the southern tier thing, but I think some of the north towns get some light showers today. Again, when you don't see any yellows, oranges, and reds, it's not going to come down too heavy. Now let's get into Saturday. We're up to around 70 degrees. Southern tier a smidge cooler than that. Starting off with the clouds, but I think we end up with a pretty decent day. Small chance of rain. Not a big player here. Sunday, the folks that are getting up early, not just for church, but as you go to marathoning, starting off at 6:30, right? 6:30? And then that's when the gun shoots. By the time you're done having maybe a beverage, it's about 70 degrees. Clouds will be on the increase. Sunday does contain rain, not for breakfast, not for lunch, but it looks like it'll be as we go transitioning from lunch to dinner, and we'll put some timing on it for you. Certainly you want to keep it locked in here at 7 ABC and 7 First Alert as we update you on your weekend forecast. But there's dry time on Sunday, scattered showers Monday, and unfortunately a cooling trend as we approach June. June already.
Come on. Well, we need those temperatures to get back up. All right, Andy, thanks. Well, a lot of people we know getting ready to hit the road this holiday weekend. We all want to be safe behind the wheel, but the car you're driving really plays a role here. We're talking about that coming up. And some of us turned to coffee this morning, right, because you didn't get a great night's sleep. There's a trick. It could have you hitting the pillow a little quicker than you think. Watching 7 Eyewitness News at 6.
Here we are, 624. Fog causing some slow areas this morning, or at least slowing you down just a little bit, to use some caution. The 219 near Southwestern, where we have the slow spots typically on our morning from that bridge only having one lane open, can't even see it this morning. So give yourself a little extra time. Use your low beams. Also, we were talking about Memorial Day in West Seneca. Also in Orchard Park, you're going to have South Buffalo Street, which is essentially the same street, just further down the road, is going to be closed from 20A right to Jewett-Homewood. That's from 9 to 10 because of their Memorial Day parade.
Autumn, thank you. Right now on our WKBW app, a lot of people thinking about safety on the road this holiday weekend, but the car you're driving plays a major role. The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety reports the safest cars on the road right now include the Jeep Cherokee and Toyota Tacoma. Also on the list, the Kia Soul and a Ford Fiesta. But there are cars that rank least safe, according to this study. Those are the cars that had the highest death rates. They include a Hyundai Accent coming in at number 1. Next on the list, Kia Rio, Scion TC, and you can find where your car ranks on this entire list of safe and unsafe cars. That's right now on our WKBW app. The future of solar jobs looking bright. We've seen it here with Tesla's Gigafactory coming to Riverbend. Solar careers have grown 17 times faster than the total U.S. economy last year, and jobs in that field grew 24% from just 2015. If you've been having trouble getting good sleep lately, a solution could be as easy as having a snack. Experts suggest a small meal with high levels of tryptophan. But before you go, grab that turkey leg. We all hear about that during Thanksgiving, right? Think small. Egg whites and low-fat cheese contain that same amino acid. Granola and crackers also make the list. Not a bad reason to have a snack. Water woes continue this morning, and the Army Corps of Engineers says it could get worse for homeowners in Wilson before it gets better. And as we get ready for Memorial Day weekend, we're showing you where you can take your entire family as we honor those who've served our country. We're checking in with Liz Lewin. She's at Buffalo's waterfront coming up.
We got a little fog here in downtown Buffalo, but there's some dry time for your holiday weekend and a smidge of sun. I'll bring you your holiday forecast live from the weather outside when we come back.
Right now on 7 Eyewitness News, heavy rains cause issues for neighbors in Wilson, and it could get worse for homeowners before things improve.
We're waiting for the sunshine today. We have to wait a long time, but there's some in your weekend forecast. We'll look at it live on the weather outside.
And a family in Florida fighting to help their daughter. She's lost the ability to eat or speak, diagnosed with what's called childhood Alzheimer's. That story at 6:45.
You're watching 7 Eyewitness News with Andy Parker, Katie Morse, Ed Dranch, and Autumn Lewandowski.
Good morning, Western New York. It is 6:30 on your Friday morning, and this morning kicks off a 3-day weekend for a lot of people all across Western New York. We know you want to get out and about and enjoy it. It's a foggy start to your day, but Andy, are things improving as it goes on?
I feel like we're missing somebody.
I know, my little buddy. He's not here today.
Oh, Ed. I'm just kidding. He deserves a long weekend. But yeah, we're getting everybody ready, and hopefully you're going to get some weather dry time this weekend. I'll show it to you in a moment. Want to have a little fun? Let's go up top. That's the cue. Punch button. We go up top. The one Seneca Tower. Skywatch 7 normally shows us an absolutely gorgeous sunrise. We can see 360 degrees. Today we can barely see to the edge. And you don't ever want to step that close to the edge. Only the window washers, and they're tethered. So how did we get this way? Where did all of that cloud cover come from? Let's take a look, and we can rewind time. You got to go back to 10 o'clock. See the headlights? There come the clouds. This is so neat. We're going to weather geek out on you here at 6:30 in the morning. There it goes. Kind of just look at how we are right above the clouds as that fog rolled in, and then suffice to say it lifted up a little bit more and kind of swallowed up the top of the buildings. Now it is eroding from the bottom up, and we can start to see more and more of the buildings in downtown Buffalo. I can now see City Hall, so there's an update. Folks in the southern tier, Chautauqua County, you're getting a few light sprinkles or drizzle, but Mayville, it is certainly nothing like yesterday as we broke rainfall records. One-day totals for that date, the 25th. We'll go down, we knocked out the 1800s for the most rain in a single day, just shy of 2 inches, which also puts us now in the top 10 wettest Mays ever. 60 for a daytime high today. Cloud cover, a couple of showers along the way. I mentioned the weekend preview. Let's go ahead and give you 2 out of the 3. Saturday is going to be the drier of the 2 days, 70 for an afternoon high. Sunday, get your stuff done early. Fortunately, the marathon happens in the morning. I think it's mild or cool at the starting line, mild at the finish line, and dry along the way. By the afternoon, some rain comes in. We'll talk about Memorial Day Monday as well when I join you back indoors.
Okay, Andy, thanks. Hundreds of neighbors in Wilson feeling the effects of those damaging floods this morning, and heavy rains are making already existing problems even worse. And now the Army Corps of Engineers is stepping in, assessing the situation as wave damage piers and impact the area's drainage system. Neighbors living near the harbor say they're really concerned.
It's the entire harbor is underwater, and not only our harbor, but all the way down the south shore of the lake. Don't worry, we see it every day. It's brutal.
The Army Corps of Engineers warns water levels could still rise as rain continues to fall. If this happens, homeowners could be facing even more erosion issues along the shoreline. All new this morning, a Niagara Falls woman is locked up waiting to be arraigned. Police say she was on drugs when she caused an accident that sent a pedestrian to ECMC. Police say that woman was headed west on Niagara Falls Boulevard near 66th Street when she switched lanes and hit another car. Then police say she crossed 2 more lanes and hit a woman who was waiting at a bus stop. That happened around 10 a.m. yesterday. The 59-year-old pedestrian, we're told, is in serious condition and has possible internal injuries. 6:33, Buffalo police are asking for your help finding this missing man. Take a moment to take a look at your screen. This is 77-year-old Rafael Vizcarrodo Ocasio. He's a Hispanic male who often spends time at West Seneca Shopping Center and on Seneca Street. He's about 6 foot tall, 220 pounds. He's also driving a blue smart car. Anyone with information should give 911 a call. Charges have been upgraded against the man accused of drunk driving when he hit a group of people on Richmond Avenue New Year's Day. Abdi Kadir Jafar now facing those upgraded charges of aggravated assault. The district attorney also set new bail for him because prosecutors say they were worried Jafar would run. He's going to stay in jail until his next court appearance in 2 weeks. And a Rochester man has been sentenced for beating his mother to death in her South Buffalo home. Froilan Torres going to spend 15 years in jail. It was last October when he hit his mother, Gloria Rivera, in the head with a vase. She died later. After hearing his fate, Torres apologized for what he'd done. We're following this breaking news this morning. 23 people have been killed, 25 others injured after an attack by gunmen on a bus just south of Egypt's capital of Cairo. That bus was reportedly carrying a Christian group on the way to a monastery. This is about 140 miles south of Cairo. Again, this is breaking news. We're getting new information into our newsroom. As we learn more, we'll bring it to you. Well, Congress is going to have to wait before they get some key memos from the FBI in the investigation into the possible Trump campaigns to Russia. The Bureau refused to hand over memos where ousted Director James Comey reportedly wrote that President Trump asked him to, quote, let go of the investigation into Michael Flynn. The FBI says it's consulting with special counsel before anything is going to be turned over. And President Trump's administration planning to take the fight to that proposed travel ban to Supreme Court. It comes after a federal appeals court ruled against the ban, saying that it drips with religious intolerance and discrimination. Attorney General Jeff Sessions says the Justice Department will ask the High Court to review the case. At 6:35, we're getting you ready for the start of Memorial Day weekend. Kids will be off from school Monday, and you might be looking for something to do with your family. In honor of those who served our country, Buffalo's Naval Park offers a little something for everyone. That's where we find 7 Eyewitness News reporter Liz Lewin. She's at the waterfront this morning.
Katie, what a beautiful and historic morning it's been here at the Naval and Military Park, something I encourage your entire family to do as well. Captain Roach, tomorrow morning we are honoring and remembering those who've given the sacrifice for this country. Again, what is the Naval Military Park doing?
Well, tomorrow at 10 o'clock we're having a ceremony here to recognize, put 5 folks' names up on our wall of honor, and those to recognize people who have served. But it's also just to point out, once again, it's tomorrow, not actual Memorial Day on Monday, to recognize military members who have given the ultimate sacrifice to protect people from this country. So if you have an empty morning, we hope you come down and join us, please. That would be great.
And quickly, I mean, the Naval Park is always doing stuff, but coming up, any other big events you guys have lined up?
We do. Our website will give it all, but we have a very special event, August 22nd, Party in the Park, where you get to actually, it's a gala up here on the fantail of the Little Rock, where you get to have dinner. There'll be music, quite a good time, and I hope you can join us.
All right. Well, again, what an amazing morning it's been. Thank you so much for the history you've shared. Thank you for your service, and to all of you out there and the family members who want to thank you as well. Again, tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock here at the Naval and Military Park. Come on down and honor those who have given the ultimate sacrifice for our country. For now, we are live at the Naval and Military Park at the waterfront. Liz Lewin, 7 Eyewitness News.
Yeah, a great place to be this Memorial Day weekend, Liz. Thank you very much. And if you're headed out this weekend, Autumn's tracking traffic. She's got what you need to know.
As we look at it, no accidents to tell you about. That's a good thing. We still have some fog that we're contending with, but as you head a little further north, if you're coming off or onto Grand Island, the 190 at Buffalo, you don't get lost in the Grand Island bridges, so that's a good thing. The 190 near Lockport, this is Lockport Road actually. As you look at it, you still have some of the low cloud with us. And why am I going up to Lewiston? This is another spot that's going to have a Memorial Day parade, and Center Street is going to be closed. I also believe it's a taste of Lewiston this weekend as well. So Center Street during that day will also have some restrictions there as well. But Center Street closed on Monday, the 29th. This is from 4th to 6th, but there will also be some closures right as you get off the ramp there. That's for the Memorial Day parade, right from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m.
Really glad you mentioned that, because I was just talking about going to Lewiston on Monday. Autumn, thanks so much. Well, every bride needs something old, something new, something borrowed, and something else on their wedding day, right? Wait till you see what was this woman's something blue.
And the Buffalo Marathon is this weekend, and you may want to keep your eyes peeled for a man running it in a full business suit. We'll tell you why he's dressing up.
And grab your calendar. We'll let you know what special events are headed to Canalside this season. You're watching 7 Eyewitness News at 6. It is 6:40 on your Friday morning. Today, a funeral is going to be held for legendary rocker Chris Cornell. Cornell reached stardom as the lead singer of Audioslave and Soundgarden. He was found dead in a Detroit hotel room May 18th after performing at a show. He'll be buried at Hollywood Forever Cemetery at a private service. There'll also be a public memorial for fans tonight. A popular downtown Buffalo restaurant closing its doors for good. After 3 years in business, Ocean on Washington and Huron has closed. The seafood restaurant declared bankruptcy 7 months ago. The owner now says he's going to focus on his other restaurant, Shango Bistro. Right now on the WKBW app, Canalside has officially announced all the special events we can expect to see this season. Boardwalk Bazaars return this year. Every Friday, you can head to Canalside for live music, local food, other activities. Roswell Park is also going to be hosting some wellness classes on the waterfront. And you can find a full list of all of the events that are going to be happening at Canalside on our WKBW app right now. Well, last night was really exciting for me. I got a chance to go behind the scenes of Broadway's hit show Wicked, which is playing at Shays right now. The actress who plays Glinda was the one who showed us the ropes. Now, in the show, Glinda makes her big entrance in this bubble, and she was kind enough to let me take a ride in it. Wicked is staying in town until June 4th. Make sure you join us Tuesday morning because you're going to hear what it's like to first go up in the bubble, which was amazing, and then to carry the wand. You'll hear from Glinda herself. Such an exciting experience. Can't wait to share that one with you Tuesday morning. 6:42, we're following breaking news that happened while you were asleep. A car crashed into a guardrail overnight on the 190. One person's in the hospital right now.
It is torture in the worst way.
A family in Florida fighting for their daughter's life. She was diagnosed with what's called childhood Alzheimer's. The morning sprint is next. We'll have everything you need to know before you go. You're watching 7 Eyewitness News at 6. Right now on the WKBW app, a Florida family fighting to help a daughter get treatment for a rare disease commonly known as childhood Alzheimer's. 2.5-year-old Stella has a genetic disorder. It's called Niemann-Pick type C. What it is a fast-moving disease that causes neurological and physical decline. Recently, she got pneumonia. She also lost her ability to speak and crawl. She can't eat or drink through her mouth right now.
It is torture in the worst way.
Yeah.
It gives you happiness, but it kills you at the same time because there's nothing that we can do.
Well, now this family is turning to an experimental, non-FDA approved drug. They're hoping it could extend her life, but they are having a hard time finding a hospital that'll do the treatment. For now, they're holding out hope and trying to enjoy every day they have together. This weekend, runners will be ready at the starting line for the Buffalo Marathon, and following the deadly terror attack in Manchester, event organizers are stepping up security out of precaution. The race director has spoken with the FBI and police. This year, he says you're going to see more police throughout the race. Organizers are also warning runners, be aware of your surroundings. This goes for spectators as well. If you see any suspicious activity, make sure you say something. And for one local family, this weekend's marathon is much more than just a race. It is a special day for them to honor a loved one who suffered from Alzheimer's disease. Tweela Nugent joining us now as we hear from this family and how they're keeping family members alive.
A fantastic story this morning, Katie. A lot of blisters, a lot of sweat, and a lot of tears have gone into preparation for this marathon for a group of 19 runners. They're also putting in thousands of miles just to get here to run even more. Well, they're called Joe's Joggers, and they're all running in memory of Joe Flanagan. Family members are all coming back to their Western New York roots from 10 different states. Joe was a naval officer and a teacher from Eden. Unfortunately, he died after a battle with Alzheimer's in 2014, and now his family plans to carry on his memory. They'll be running in every single race this weekend wearing purple shirts. They're raising money for the Alzheimer's Association. I FaceTimed with Joe's son before his flight here to Buffalo. They're all here now. He told me Joe's Joggers have prepped with blisters, sweat, and tears because Alzheimer's is a disease that robbed Joe of what people loved most about him.
For my dad, you know, towards the end, you could not carry on a conversation with him. So, and if you knew my dad, he, you know, beyond being an educator and a very, very smart man, he was really funny and really fun and had a million, you know, sound effects and nicknames and expressions. And, you know, that all goes away with the disease.
And Joe's wife, Elaine, you're looking at her right now, at 75 years old, is going to be running her very first race ever. Robert will be alongside her running in a purple suit because beating Alzheimer's, to him, all business. He's also going to be carrying a briefcase, and he told me he wished he would have gone for maybe paper clips or something lighter. But Joe's Joggers has raised more than $37,000 so far. They're hoping to reach $40,000 and even more by race day. So if you see them this Sunday, make sure you cheer them on. I've also tweeted a link on how you can help them out. I'm Tweela Nugent, 7 Eyewitness News.
Awesome. What an amazing thing to do as a family. Tweela, thanks so much. We are also getting ready for a different kind of race this weekend. While drivers are revving their engine for the Indy 500, the 101st race coming up Sunday, of course, in Indianapolis. This season, we're seeing some new faces on the Bills roster, and one of them said to have Brady-like potential. Nathan Peterman was a 5th-round draft pick. At 23 years old, he says he's ready to start his rookie season. He might be from Jacksonville, Florida, but he's already starting to understand what the Bills Nation is all about.
I remember walking in the locker room the first day and had about a stack this big of fan mail and some packages, and that was pretty surreal to me. I mean, pretty amazing.
In his final year playing for the Pittsburgh Panthers, Peterman had a 6-1 home record, but despite that record, head coach Sean McDermott says players have to earn a spot on his team. Every bride knows on their big day you need something old, something new, something borrowed, and, right, something blue. Well, for that, a Missouri bride asked for a little help from her uncle. Allison Farrell asked her 92-year-old Marine veteran uncle to wear his blue dress uniform for her wedding day. You can see his face is beaming as he came down the aisle, holding a sign saying, "I'm her something blue." All right, 6:49 on your Friday morning, a foggy start to your day. Andy Parker's tracking your 7 First Alert forecast.
Skywatch 7, still cloudy up there, 40 stories up. Fortunately, with the morning commute happens a lot lower than that, and Autumn will have an update for you. What we're looking at temperature-wise this morning, 53 degrees. We've got a wind out of the southwest at just 8 miles an hour. Sunrise coming up at 5:42. Hey, we have some business to take care of this morning. We're losing a member of our 7 Eyewitness News team. Cole has never been on. He's been here a year. Straight out of Syracuse, has no idea he's on TV now. Somebody tell him. He's never there. We're getting a vote. No, this is so dangerous. You can see it is an intense newsroom this morning, and so we're letting Cole go down the West Palm Beach. How about some applause?
Hey, you got to get that 6 a.m., almost 7 a.m. stretch in, right?
And there we go. All right, Cole, see you later. It's a long walk. All right, here we go. 53 degrees, but no, a shining star out of Syracuse, and now he's moving on through the Scripps, climbing the Scripps ladder this morning. I'm so happy that didn't go too wrong this morning. There's a little bit of drizzle for you folks in the southern tier. No big rain today. Where did it all go? We sent it over to Bahaba and Bangor up there. Boston going to see a swirl of soggy weather today. For us, we keep the clouds around and maybe a peak or two of sun, and we'll still get a couple of sprinkles right through the middle of the day. And 57, 56 degrees. As we go into the afternoon, watch what happens. These clouds just stick around. I mean, I wish we could just turn the windmills on high and stir it all out, but unfortunately that's not going to happen. See the green on the screen? Super light stuff today, so more of a nuisance than anything else, and that goes right to the evening hours. But let's talk about Saturday, right? We've got 3 weekend days for most folks here. 53, 70 in the afternoon. Southern tier just a touch cooler. The further we get into Saturday, the more sunshine we get. But I don't know if this is going to qualify as a pool day or not. Only a sprinkle or two there. Now Sunday for the marathoners, it's a cool beginning. We're looking at 63 by mid-morning. So it's going to warm up as you run the race. And if it takes you a little bit longer to get to the finish line, you'll get there at about 70 degrees. Should be dry along the way. There will be rain on Sunday, but we're kind of pushing it off into the afternoon hours towards the evening. Even a chance of a rumble of thunder in there as well. It gets up to 75 degrees, so get it done in the first half of the day. We cool back to 70 as we get to Monday with some scattered showers and a few 60s, but it looks like we get back to the 70s in time for next weekend. It is time to start the sprint.
Yeah, let's get you out the door this morning. Andy, thanks. 23 people we've learned have been killed and 25 others injured after an attack by gunmen on a bus just south of Egypt's capital of Cairo. That bus was reportedly carrying a Christian group on its way to a monastery. It's about 140 miles south of Cairo. Neighbors in Olcott still dealing with flooding issues this morning. Lake Ontario 19 inches higher than it was a month ago, 33 inches higher than the May average. One homeowner says she's expecting this situation to get much worse.
Everything's flooded. The basement, the whole yard. The yard's like part of the lake right now.
Just last week, Niagara County extended its state of emergency for communities along the lake shore. The Red Cross also helping.
There's food and water available throughout the day, so even if you didn't have to evacuate maybe, but you can't cook because you had to turn off your stove or it was flooded out, you'd be able to come to that shelter and get a meal as well.
The Red Cross would also provide trained social workers to help the community deal with the trauma of possibly being displaced. We're working to learn more about this overnight crash on the 190 North. Happened around 2:30 this morning. You can see a car hit a guardrail just after exit 9 on the 190. AMR confirmed they took one person to ECMC after this crash. We'll keep you updated on this story as we learn more throughout the morning. 6:53, Manchester police are searching a property they believe may be connected to Monday's suicide attack. Overnight, police arrested a 10th person in connection with this investigation. Another man and a woman were released without being charged. And right now, investigators are trying to piece together still the life of the suspected suicide bomber. This morning, brand new images of Abedi. Here, surveillance photos show just before the attack. He's at a shopping mall. He's apparently carrying the backpack that he used in the bombing. Investigators say they found bomb-making materials in his home. And the UK once again sharing information about the bombing with the US, but the country had temporarily suspended intelligence sharing privileges after leaked intelligence made it into American papers. President Trump has pledged to prosecute the people who leaked the information. The investigation into the Trump administration's ties to Russia is turning toward the president's son-in-law, Jared Kushner's role on the campaign. They're also interested in his contacts with Russia. Kushner has not been accused of committing any crime. The race for mayor in Buffalo is heating up. Candidate Mark Schroeder revealed how he plans to help neighborhood development. He says his administration would offer several one-stop shop training centers where people could learn skills like tax prep and accounting, and it would all be for free.
My plan will offer assistance to business owners and job seekers where they work and live, helping to improve their neighborhoods in the process.
Mayor Brown is responding to this plan with a resume of things that he accomplished for the people of Buffalo. Brown points to a $6.1 billion in economic development that he says will create thousands of jobs, a business tax rate cut of nearly 16%, and a streamlined permit process. A new report shows school districts need to increase salaries for certain types of teachers if they want to fix a statewide teacher shortage. The report also says there's a major need for science, math, special education, bilingual, and technology teachers all across New York State.
Memorial Day, just a few days away, and to commemorate and honor those who've given the ultimate sacrifice for our country, the Buffalo and Erie County Naval and Military Park is holding a commemorative ceremony tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Now, this Naval and Military Park is a staple here in the Queen City. We're aboard the USS Little Rock. There are many, many other vessels, vehicles, and aircrafts for the whole family to enjoy and learn about.
And if you'll be traveling this holiday weekend, you'll want to be prepared for traffic. A survey by TripAdvisor shows today's the busiest travel day of the weekend. More than a third of people who are planning to go somewhere will be headed there today. AAA estimates more people are traveling this year than in the past 12 years.
And here we have fog around town. No accidents to tell you about for our Friday morning. The Skyway, as you're coming in, yeah, you can see it now. And if you're going to be downtown this weekend, there's going to be plenty of road closures. Spots to park on Sunday. They say to park east of the route because the west side is still going to have a lot of areas where there will be runners. And all of these roads are closing down just before 5 a.m. on race day as well.
All right, we'll be pulling for you guys. Somebody gonna have a GPS? We can watch it run the You need a GPS just to see off the edge of the One Seneca Tower. This is the way it's gonna stay. We'll have a couple of light showers through the day today, almost calling them drizzle nuisance stuff. Near 60, but it brightens up and warms up for the holiday weekend.
And we know a lot of people have plans this holiday weekend, but one thing you might want to do, take a moment to just remember everyone who served our country. Let's take you live right now, one more time, to the Naval and Military Park right on Buffalo's waterfront. What a beautiful and fitting way to be ending the show as we head into the weekend. Thanks so much for joining us, Western New York. We'll be back here Monday morning. Have a great weekend.